Few organizations in history have impacted people's lives as significantly and become as important as Google, to the point where we no longer search the internet for information, but rather Google it. It's no accident that Google, which began as one of several search engines, has grown to be the most widely used worldwide. I'm sure that outstanding people are the key to an exceptional company because its every organization is formed by unique individuals. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, is led by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, respectively. Google was founded in 1998 by two people who met at Stanford University while pursuing doctoral degrees in computer science. They collaborated to develop Google's PageRank algorithm, and in 2015 they founded Alphabet, which consists of Google, Nest, Cisco, and other companies. Each notably receives a $1 compensation from Alphabet each year. Their wealth is derived from the value of their firm's stock shares. Welcome to Good Lucks, a channel dedicated to inspiring you to expand your mindset, make general life breakthroughs, and realize your full potential to see what life has to offer. This video aims to educate you on some of the principles that Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the co-founders of Google and longtime friends, who together created a teaching powerhouse, could teach you. Subscribe if you'd like to receive our daily dose of financial and life knowledge. What can we learn from Google's leadership, the most influential tech business in the world? Without further ado, let's begin. Put the end user first. In reality, the two co-founders of Google, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, established the company as a Stanford University project, not to become rich and famous, but rather to rapidly give pertinent information on any issue and enhance the lives of as many people as they could. In light of this, executives should emulate the actions of the Google founders by continuously evaluating how they might improve their services or goods and attempting to predict what their consumers or customers will require. How frequently do you, as a leader, consider the foundations of your company? When was the last time you considered what specifically your business could do to further tailor its goods and services to the demands of its clients? Think in the future tense. Google executives, in contrast to normal CEOs, have always maintained a very long-term vision and have never abandoned their long-term goals in favor of short-term ones. Even back in 2004, when Google went public, its co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin were aware that long-term thinking would be essential to the future of their business. They refused to give in to Wall Street pressure that favored modest but predictable results, choosing instead to engage in hazardous endeavors that might result in more erratic but significantly higher returns. The founders of Google, on the other hand, have always emphasized their willingness to seize long-term possibilities, even at the expense of falling short of Wall Street expectations. As a result, Google has always been a corporation with a long-term perspective. Google has managed to overtake rivals and now leads the tech field by focusing on long-term growth, risky projects, and significant future payoffs, even at the expense of failures and immediate losses. Put the objectives and key results system into practice. A very early investor in Google, venture capitalist, and author of the book Measure What Matters, How Google, Bono, and the Gates Foundation Rock the World with OKRs, John Doerr, implemented the objectives and key results systems at a very early stage of the company. This approach was used by Google and its CEOs. The big picture and strategic purpose can only be effectively measured against a quantitative result established by a specific number. According to the OKR system's underlying tenet, the fact that every Googler, including the CEO, makes their goals and critical results public ensures that everyone knows who is in charge of what and who depends on the outcomes of their work. This promotes mutual accountability, team alignment, and ultimately high performance. Think very big. According to Larry Page, it might be difficult to inspire individuals to be high-flying and extraordinarily ambitious because they frequently assume that things are not possible rather than starting the real-world physics and determining what is truly feasible. It's challenging to think of examples of outstanding businesses that have merely imitated their rivals, in large part because it's uninteresting to perform tasks 10% rather than 10 times better. Non-innovative businesses frequently copy the trends with only minor adjustments, which frequently results in stagnation, downgrade, and eventually failure. As moonshot thinking has always been ingrained in Google's DNA, it has gained momentum by adhering to this precept set forth by the CEOs and has been able to push the envelope more and more. Take on projects with high risk and rewards. The majority of people avoid high-risk endeavors since it goes against their instinct to avoid taking risks. But as is well known, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Companies willing to take risks eventually become more successful than those who always hedge their bets, since the riskiest projects frequently yield the largest profits and rewards. Merely a small number of organizations, including Google, have the fortitude to take this route, whereas the majority only make a little incremental modifications when they decide to make a change. CEOs are courageous. Larry Page and Sergey Brin said they don't think twice about making significant bets on exciting new chances. They do not avoid high-risk, high-reward ventures because of the demand of immediate earnings. That is the core of Google's risk-taking strategy, which drives the company to pursue high-risk ventures and is essential to its long-term development and success. Even though some of their best bets haven't paid off, others have done incredibly well, so the business is continually looking for new prospects. Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin, said that if you are ready to place multiple bets, there is a chance that some of them would succeed. Establish an innovative culture. Since culture is a crucial component of every organization, Google's co-founder and founder instilled an innovative culture throughout their business and workforce. Even if all the logos and colors were removed from Google, you would still be able to recognize the site as Google, and Facebook operates similarly. This is prevalent in many truly well-cultured organizations. Google has made the concept of transparency even easier by establishing a flat organizational structure and open communication culture. This is because Google promotes a free exchange of ideas and opinions among all employees, independent of typical corporate hierarchy. Google employees can express their opinions to the CEO without worrying about how their immediate management will respond. Employ a smart, creative workforce. You must employ people who are not just extremely intelligent and tech-savvy, but also imaginative and have a flair for business. And on that one item alone, Larry Page and Sergey Brin focused, because they are self-driven and self-directed. Google employees don't just follow instructions, they even disregard them if they don't agree with them. They are, nevertheless, incredibly collaborative in addition to being self-driven. Given the size of the Google workforce, employees must be able to work together effectively by evaluating and assessing ideas based on their merits rather than where they come from. When CEOs can hire exceptional individuals, their intellectual prowess and impulsive personality will undoubtedly propel the business to success. Allow for a lot of mistakes and accept failure. At regular workplaces, employees are typically told what to do, and freedom is the last thing they can expect from their managers. However, since Google employees are independent, highly intellectual thinkers who approach their work unconventionally, their managers are expected to have unique management styles. Since Googlers, unlike conventional employees, are not big fans of organizational structures and don't give a damn about function descriptions, the CEO made sure that flexibility was one of the main pillars of this unique strategy. Give influential people more authority. The Google co-founders have found it crucial to identify who has the most influence over the firm and the rest of the staff to establish a very powerful company. Experience and function are typically the first things that come to mind for many executives when trying to identify important people. But at Google, these qualities aren't seen as indicators of influence. In terms of impact assessment, however, performance and enthusiasm are thought to be the most important factors. So maybe attempt to see their potential rather than immediately discarding everyone weird. There might end up being untapped resources and game changers who can guide the business into uncharted territory and ultimately to victory. Create a platform. All of the most prosperous businesses are platforms, and the Google co-founders followed a similar strategy while establishing Google. In contrast to normal firms, their goal is to establish their communities and networks in addition to making revenues. Platforms encourage collaboration, assist their members in facilitating their interactions, and ultimately aid in the sale of excellent and highly targeted goods and services by offering a space that benefits all of its members. Knowing all of this, great leaders who are seeking the next big thing, have grand plans to rule the world, should examine platform opportunities more closely and accept the challenge of developing their platform. Here's an extra point for your patience if you're still watching. Thank you for showing interest in this video. When you don't succeed, nobody will care. Most startups, once they reach a certain size, consider selling to a multinational. Larry and Sergey also thought about selling at one point. The only issue was that the majority of the businesses they contacted were uninterested in the technology that they had developed. The large corporations wanted to hire Larry and Sergey since it was simple to see their talents. The business the two created was viewed more as a burdensome luggage. For their business, Larry and Sergey received reasonable offers, and they had the opportunity to instantly become millionaires. However, they decided against it because it was pointless to sell the business to those who were uninterested in the new technology. As you consider your vision and business goals, I challenge each of you to learn from Larry and Sergey. Do you have the guts to go against the grain and act on your own convictions rather than allowing yourself to be corrupted by pecuniary interests? If so, you might be the exception that even the smartest people will rally behind. More extraordinary people are required on this planet. If you behave like one, you might also succeed. What do you think of our admonition? Are you in agreement? Do you have any further comments or questions? Post any further queries or remarks in the comments section. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video so that others can watch it and find inspiration. To make sure you don't miss any new videos about personal development, enable the notification bell as well. I'll see you in the next video.